Time to load up the hopper. Well, as you guys know, I still have so much of that calcium left, and I have to put in some rock salt first because the calcium is so small it falls right out of the neck. Right now I'm just there was a tiny little bit, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 cups of rock salt in the bottom that was left in there. So what I did is just push the bottom of the spinner with one of the old plow pins and make sure it was turning and wasn't frozen up, because the last thing you want is to leave rock salt in there and let it freeze and harden up, and then you flick the switch on the controller inside the cab to kick that auger on and it snaps the auger right off the propeller. It's never happened to me. I've seen it happen to other guys though, and definitely not something I want to mess with since I just replaced all that last year. If you go back through my videos, you'll find, oh, look at that, bag too close to the edge and some of it spilled over. It happens. What are you gonna do? But anyway, if you guys go back through the videos from last year, you'll see where I had to put a new motor, new transmission. I rebuilt this whole salter, so the last thing I want to do is replace all that again this year. But anyway, just loading it up. So I poured a bucket of rock salt in there, just as the base, so these tiny little pebbles of this calcium chloride won't fall out the bottom. But I have so many bags of this in the bed of the truck and just needs to get burned up. It's January 29th. I've been out 3 times this month. Last month I went out plowing and salting more in just last month, just in December, than I have the last 2 years combined. So, I just got a new ton of rock salt, the treated stuff. It's blue, so it works in the colder temperatures, but I just got a fresh ton of that, and it's all in buckets in the garage. As you guys know, I keep it, and then I have all this calcium chloride. So, the buckets I can put in the back building, and I don't have to worry about catching them on something and ripping them open like I do with these bags. So, I only have I think 5 or 6 in the bed of the truck, and I have 4 or 5 inside the garage, and the rest is all stored in my friend's barn. So that's all still in pellets and it's good to go. But I want to burn up this stuff so that I don't have to worry about it if we're not going to get a heck of a lot of snow, which it's not showing very much in the forecast for the rest of the winter. This is New York. If you don't like the weather, give it 15 minutes, it can change. But that is the way it's looking. It doesn't look like too much. But what you guys are going to see, I've decided come spring, I've already said I'm going to put out a lot more videos. Last year's the most amount I've ever put out in one season. This year I plan to do even more, but this is kind of where I'm going back to. How I did a lot of voiceover, a lot of narration. I'll still be doing the other ones, but I'm going to go back to a lot more of this style. So I hope you guys like them. It's what you seem to like.
Okay, so we're calling for 2 to 4 inches, something like that, tonight into tomorrow morning. So I'm still trying to burn up all this calcium chloride. Not to ever burn it up. I have so much of it, it's ridiculous. But this chunk, a little bit of moisture got in that one bag, had a little bit of a hole in it. These are the old plow pins. We'll use one of these. And that vibrator kit that I have on the back, it also takes care of stuff like this. And another stuff you can do with this, when it doesn't break up, I take it, throw it in my driveway. As it snows, it will, boom, melt this stuff down. It's like chalk. Watch. See? Doesn't even break up that easy. Kind of crazy, huh? But anyway, so yeah, they're calling for 2 to 4 inches. And what I'm going to do is, they said the worst of it will be tonight overnight. What I'm going to do is pre-salt tonight, probably, I don't know, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock or so. I'll go pre-salt the only parking lot that I have. And then once I'm done with that, I will go out, like I'll wake up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning and check and see how much snow we got. And if we got it, I will, then I'll go and plow what I have to plow. But a lot of guys were talking about, look at this truck. You see this? Look at that, rotted out. These things are gone. Gone, cab corners are gone. The rest of the truck looks pretty decent. These are the door handles I had to replace when I ripped them off a couple weeks ago and my doors froze. But, and this is the driver's side. Now see, somebody before I bought this truck tried replacing this piece after it rotted before. They put a piece in there and left it hang down like that. It's supposed to go up under and then connect underneath, but they didn't do it right. And that one's completely gone. Cab corner's gone. The bottom of this door is gone. And everyone has said to me, why don't you just buy a new truck? Well, those of you that follow me know that I am probably going to next year, but this truck has been paid off for years. And it starts up every day, and it still pushes snow just fine, and it still spreads salt just fine. So, if I don't owe any money for it, and it just keeps making me money, why the hell would I get rid of it? You know? I could run to a dealer like anybody else and buy a truck. Buy a brand new truck, and you guys are at an angle. I could run to a dealer like anybody else and buy a brand new truck and throw a plow on it. You know, some of these guys around in my area, I see them, they buy $60,000, $70,000 trucks, F350s fully loaded, or Chevy GMC 3500 1 tons fully loaded. And they spent $8 grand on a big V-blade plow and this and that. And you know, every time I see that, it's like, I don't know. It's like watching Oprah. It's like, give him some debt, give him some debt, give that guy some debt over there. They all get debt. You know what I mean? It's just not for me. If you have a really big company, you know, and you have high-end accounts and it's paying itself off, you know, then it's worth it. But for me, being a solo guy, it's just a very stupid move, and it just would not be very business smart at all. And I would put myself out of business real quick doing something like that. You know, I think I have 38 driveways, something like that, in one parking lot. I don't do a lot of snow plowing, and for many reasons, and mainly because I don't have to, because I don't need the money for it. So it just gives me something to do in the winter. But anyway, so that's why I don't go buy a brand new truck. I believe I am, like I've mentioned before, replacing this truck this year and plow. And you know, now the more I think about it, I might not even replace this plow. I might just refurbish it. It's a great plow. It has served me well. It still works perfectly fine. I just put all that new hardware on it. I think I might just rip the 3 rams off of it, you know, the ram that raises it up and down, because Boss plows use a ram instead of chains like a lot of other plows. So, and then the 2 angle ones for the power angle, I might replace those and refurbish that plow and just keep running with it. I mean, there's no rot in it. It's a poly plow. It'll never rot. So everything else on it is good. I upgraded all the lights on it last year. This year I put the new LED bar on it, and I've done all the new hardware. I finally cut and welded and fabricated the wings the way I want them. So maybe I'll just put that on whatever truck I get next. But that is the deal with that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. I definitely think I'm going to upgrade to a newer truck now, or another truck, one that's in better shape. This one is definitely paid for itself, so time for a new truck, I believe, but it is not going to be anything brand new. I buy used trucks, because I'm not spending tons and tons of money on a truck that when I don't need to.
It seems pretty funny, and it's hard to believe I've been doing this for over 19 years. But usually I have my plow sitting on dollies, and I pull up, and they're on wheels. I wheel it right up to the truck, get it lined right up, and that's it, done. But I'd done all that work to it, so I didn't have it on dollies this time. But I don't know. I know it looks kind of ridiculous, but you know, you guys know me. I don't cut out the mistakes and the bad part. It's all real life with me. I don't try to sugarcoat it. It is what it is, and it doesn't matter how many years experience you have. Everybody screws up, and everybody has a difficult time with certain things sometimes. So that's what you get.
Hey, that's all you do, like I explained last. When you pull forward, then you flip them latches over, and you push this whole center mass back, and these pins snap in, the locks hold it. Then I got the two main plugs for my power, the lights, all that funky stuff. And then this is that little one I've showed you guys before that gives power to the LED bar. See, I got zip ties in there. I haven't fixed it yet. I hit a branch that came down, hit it, and it popped that bracket off. So I zip tied it in the middle of a storm. Isn't that crazy? It happens. Oh, that is that. And then you come in here. Oh, I got tired of the joystick control I had there, so I put this back on. Plow goes up, plow goes left, plow goes right, back left again. So now I got to do. Ready? There's my jack. It's a new jack, and this is a pin that I'd made. Look how it's all bent up. I made this pin. I welded these two pieces together. It goes through here. The one that's supposed to go on here is a spring that goes in there with a pin. So you just pull it out and raise the jack all the way up and then let it go back in. And then this jack stays up in there. But I always forget to take it out. And when you forget to take it out, you end up with, where's the old one? This is the one I made. See that? That's what happens when you forget to take it out. Now, I've replaced this one twice, the actual one that goes on there, and then finally I'm like, I've had enough of that. So I had this piece of steel sitting in there, and I made this one, and I ran this one for a year, and then just a few weeks ago I forgot to take it out again. And I put the plow back on the truck, and I left to go out plowing, and forgot to pull this out, so it got all bent and smashed up. So I have the actual pin and the spring that go in there, but it is not on. See, now the controller. See? Down, up, left, right, down, and then when you go, watch this, when you go down and you hold it down, it turns red. Once that's red, that means the plow is in float mode. It follows a contour. Now here's the thing. Now I can come up just a hair. Or what I can do is I can drop it down till it hits the ground. Now it's stuck in that position. It won't follow the contour. It'll stay at that position, down on the ground, but stay there. When you're back dragging, it holds the blade a lot more firm. So it's not going to ride up on the snow as much when you back drag. When I have it in float position, it definitely rides up a lot more onto the snow. So I have the power switch it off. There's that little thing on the back there. I just hang it. And that's that. We're going to turn the truck around and back it in. So it's all ready to go for later. And I can go out and do the, I can go out and do my pre-salting of my one and only lot. But, oh yeah, and then I have this switch down here. It says truck and plow. I'll switch it over to plow, because otherwise the truck lights, the headlights on the truck work and the plow lights won't work because it's on truck. Anyway, little stuff. But yeah, so now I will go out. I only have that one lot to pre-salt. I'll go out and do that later, but now the truck will be ready to go for that. I won't have to throw the plow on later. I won't have to do any of that stuff. And drop the blade back down. Down it goes. There. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's all done. The plow's on. I don't have to put the plow on in the snow. Like once it starts snowing later, I won't have to be out here trying to put the plow on. Look, I just closed the door and this chunk of rust fell off. See what I mean? What are you going to do? New York State, man. It's not like all the other states that use sand and all over the roads and can't figure out why people are crashing all the time. You know, the sand gives you traction, yeah, but if they would just use salt, they would just melt the ice. But then again, you know, they don't have the problems. You son of a puppy. Hold on. You know, the thing is that if they, I don't know, you probably ain't gonna hear me talking now. See, look at the chunks of that stuff. Bye, plow. See you later. But there's a dually. I love that thing. But anyway, the other states, if they use salt, they wouldn't have the problem of all the accidents. Well, as many as they have anyway. They would, but then you have problems with vehicles rotting out like that too, because sand won't do that. Salt will. So, I don't know. I guess you weigh one against the other and kind of got to decide. But New York State, they love salt. They love putting down salt. And that's what it does. It rots vehicles away, but, you know, it gets rid of the ice on the roads. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I don't really know. I guess you got to pick one over the other. But there's a show that I watch every year. I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. It's called Highway Through Hell. And they have major... There's a weight kit for the Walker B19. They have major issues on throughways. Or on their highways with accidents and stuff. But they use nothing. It's up in Canada. And they use nothing but sand. And I always think to myself, you know, why don't they just drop salt up there? Or at least use a salt sand mix. You know, they would solve probably 80% of the problems that are on that show. But they never do. Anyway, so I'm gonna end this right here, guys. I will probably, if I go out plowing tonight, which almost guaranteed I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna record a bunch of stuff. I haven't put up videos much in a while. So I am going to record a bunch of stuff. I go out later and then throughout the night, early in the morning, and I will put that up sometime tomorrow. So stay tuned for that one.